Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. And Cole.
Oh my god!
What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for the originals. Season 3, Episode 15, An Old Friend Calls. I am your host, Mike, and joining me is Kim.
Hi.
Hi. And Nikki.
Hey.
Hey. And Dom.
Hi.
Hi. So, another good episode of the originals.
Can I just say that
Nope.
when I said that he's gonna come back tainted, possibly a vampire because his brother's blood was used, that I was right.
You were partially right. You were right that he comes back as a vampire, but apparently the reason is the spell brings back the body in the state it was in when it died.
Yeah, well.
Well,
He
does have unquenchable thirst.
Apparently.
That guys, he's totally got it under control.
He's got some Ripper tendencies going on.
He didn't like Ripper though. He wasn't like.
He just hasn't had blood in a really long time.
Because he's been dead.
Obviously.
He slept for like 3 days.
Being dead does not make you more or less hungry. Okay, maybe it makes you perpetually hungry.
Well, so Cole is back. He's just fitting right back into the family, like like he never left. Like Klaus even looks like he wants to rip his head off, and then he hugs him.
I thought that was so adorable.
I know.
And I think Cole almost shit his pants at that point. Like, what is happening?
Because with so many enemies and everything around, like, family is the best thing at this point for him.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
It's got
And in all his paranoia.
Family is only part of the prophecy that has actually been fulfilled. Klaus already staked his sister. It's done.
No, it was Elijah who put a stick.
Elijah, whatever. So that part of the prophecy is done. So my family is the only thing that's safe right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Klaus is totally back to paranoid Klaus. Like, there's enemies in every shadow. He's back to paranoid Klaus when there was a fuck ton of white oak. Not a fuck ton, but compared to now, there was a lot of white oak around, and Michael was hunting them all. So he's back to that Klaus a little bit. Overly paranoid, seeing shadows, where there aren't any. Thinking his enemies are all standing outside his doorstep, which he's partially right, because...
He's totally right.
Yeah, because Cortez was in town.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Cortez is the remaining son of a family that Klaus butchered in the 17th century.
Not just a family, it was a family of warlords.
Yes, a family of dickheads, basically.
Yeah.
Who burnt down a building, a home, a castle, something. We weren't really...
It was his art retreat.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a place
Yeah.
Klaus really liked, and they burnt it
Yes.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently no one else liked it.
Yeah.
Just Klaus.
Yeah, Elijah said, totally terrible. And then when Cole comes back, he's like, yeah, that place was awful. Elijah, yeah, thank you.
And I love how that was really actually a comedic scene
Yeah,
because of the way Klaus is. He's like, nobody has taste.
Nobody
like
has taste.
Nobody.
It wasn't
cute.
that bad.
the whole scene was, I don't know. It was, considering at least most of the episode was very serious and you had a lot of again paranoia issues things going on, Haley going nuts,
I just
and
I love the
Was she
whole.
really nuts?
You killed his father. So I killed his father. Don't forget the 5 brothers. All right, and I killed the 5 brothers. Oh, and don't forget the mistress. She was an accident. Like he got so
the
offended.
Yep.
But the whole scene was just, it was like a family sitting around a table just mess with each other.
Nostalgia, bullshit, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. That works.
I mean, Klaus isn't the only one who's paranoid. We find out Cammie's super paranoid about Aurora still.
Well, she's got a pretty good point. Aurora's not dead, and as long as Aurora's not dead, even if she is locked in a happy little, wall, she could still somehow get out. And
I mean, Catherine got out in the Vampire Diaries when we didn't think that tomb would ever be reopened.
there you go.
So this is just brick walled up with a very slight magical incantation over it. It's not like a Bennett witch spell, which is like some of the most powerful thing in existence.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Aurora could get out next month, next year, next century. Doesn't matter. Assuming nothing crazy happens, Cammie's going to be alive when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was don't blame her for being paranoid.
Yep.
We kind of saw a little bit of like the old Cammie coming back too, until that end all talk with Klaus at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it to Klaus. It sucked that 4 innocent people had to die, but it was better than them butchering another 30 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. He unfortunately did what he had to do in that situation. But she said, the hope, I had hope for you, for your redemption. Was that how she put it?
Basically,
Yeah.
that he was going to come back and become more of a person.
I thought Haley was the one who had hope.
Nice try. Very nice, Dom. I have to agree with Bex G in chat. I loved when Elijah asked Cole if he missed being dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cole had been away from all the family drama for so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you missed being
Yeah.
dead.
But he brings so much more to the table now. Like before, he was just like a little jerk running around, ripping heads off. But now he's actually teaching Freya, magic spells that he created and stuff like that. And it just seems like, we know Klaus is going to be gone. Cole's going to have a big part in the next who knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Cole tried hooking up with his sister at some point.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Which is funny. That was funny.
I met you once.
Freya knew it too, which is hilarious. She's like, I knew where you were the whole time.
That explains it.
Oh god.
Cole thinking he's the ladies' man.
Well, he did say, I either knew it was because you were a lesbian or because you were my sister. And he gave her this look like he knew too, but I don't think he did.
He had no
No,
idea.
I think that was just
Playing it off. All right,
But
back to Cammie, real quick. She says to Klaus, that part of me was human, and it's gone now. Sorry. We were an item for about 5 minutes. Now we're not.
She's lying through her
she
teeth.
lied to him.
Vincent
she lied to him.
called her on it big time.
Well, before Finn wasn't Vincent. Vincent was a psychologist as well, wasn't he?
I believe he was
Yeah,
studying
so
something.
she was kind of being mentored under him for a while. I remember that when they first brought that whole thing in. Or was she being... Or, I don't know. I can't remember. I know there was a therapist, client kind of thing going on between Vincent and Cammie.
I think that's how it was.
Vincent.
Vincent.
It's Vincent and Cammie. That's what it was.
Cammie doesn't mean it, apparently. So that's going to be fun, considering at the end of this episode had Klaus driving off for a minimum of 3 years.
Well, because we knew from the Vampire Diaries crossover episode last week that Klaus hadn't been heard from in 3 years. Hadn't been, and apparently, we learned that there's some magical item that's tethered to Klaus to make it appear like he's actually in New Orleans if they do a locator spell.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really not there. But where exactly is he going? Is he going to hunt down like all those dots of blood?
It made it sound like he was just disappearing. That he was
Like
going
you
to
said.
become a ghost.
Yeah, I don't run, I disappear. So he's
Right,
probably
but
going to disappear.
But he's got Haley and Hope with him.
He's just
Can't
going
really
to
disappear with a child like that.
Sure you can. I guess.
I mean,
they're going on a road trip. They're going to Disney World.
Yeah, they're going to Disney World.
perfect.
Totally. So speaking of Haley, she goes a little, revenge happy this episode.
Do you blame her?
No.
She has a hit list of all the Strix that took her and Jackson, and she is crossing them off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Elijah finishes the rest.
Yeah, he has a point. They're gonna see this as an act of war.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the list, and yeah, he does it.
It seems
Marcel covered up well, though.
Marcel was great with the cover-up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, saying it was Cortez.
But man, that scene between Elijah and Haley.
It's like as soon as he hands her the list, she burns. It's just like, I love you, Elijah. Like
I always have, and he tears.
I'm sitting here. I forgot what I was doing at the time, but that it's on my other monitor, and she's just like, I love you, Elijah. I was like, all attention, you have it. And then that's why we can never be together. I have to let you go.
It seems horrible.
Maybe that's for the best. I've tried it before. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
And the tears were welling up, and I'm just like, Elijah, don't cry.
He was already crying. He started crying the moment she said, I love you, and that was it. So he was already a pile of tears. And I'm just like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I hate you.
It's like every time, like, I love you. I always have. Jackson knew it, and he loved me despite that. And it's like, every time I look at you, I just see Jackson standing there.
I can't love you because I feel bad. Nice job, Haley.
I mean, I think we all forget that Haley's still quite a young vampire, too.
Yeah.
And, her emotions are still kind of not exactly stable.
She's different, though, because she's a hybrid, so she's really powerful. She's more powerful than the 300-year-old strict vampires.
Doesn't mean that her emotions are stable. In fact, they might be worse because of the vampire side of her. I mean, the werewolf.
Well, the werewolf side, yeah. Well, because we see how bad Tyler gets.
Yeah.
His anger, his rage, or whatever. So Haley's dealing with that with vampire strength mixed with werewolf strength.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then she's going with the irrational hatreds, which, I mean, they're kind of rational in a way, but, with the Jackson and Hope being threatened. So, you get a mother protecting her child and her husband, and, that's the end of it. You're done.
She's also the alpha of her pack.
They're coming. It was Haley, wasn't me.
We've seen her go off the deep end a few different times within in the originals. I mean, when she turned to a vampire and she was just blood hungry and went all over the place. So, and obviously her emotions with Elijah have been up and down all over the place.
Right.
But
yeah, but on topic, Bex in chat he says he feels like Cammy jumped the gun on dumping Klaus, gets why she's worried about Aurora, but it's obvious that Klaus is over Aurora because, she doesn't have to sabotage the relationship. And then Haley makes no sense either. Why do these chicks breaking their hearts for no reason?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if Haley and Klaus are gonna be coming? Because
I did mention that.
the talk that Stefan and Klaus had. Klaus almost had like an epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
During that conversation, and now they're going on a possible 3-year road trip together.
Right. Haley.
Like, are we gonna see a time jump now on the originals when this comes back? Because this doesn't come back till April 1st. Are we gonna jump 3 years into the future to catch up to the Vampire Diaries?
No. And
No.
I say no because I watched the promo for next week's episode.
Okay.
And it's
Well,
picking up
they're
right
gonna
where this
There's no episode next week.
The next episode of the originals. So what would have been next week's episode on April 1st, it's picking up right where this episode left off.
Okay.
So, and where this episode left off was Cole drinking some lady in the middle of an alley and Finn walking up, and now here's my what the fuck question of the episode. How the fuck is Finn alive?
I feel like Aya still had the amulet. Freya had like a one that was kind of fake. Still had some magical properties so that it felt like it was Finn. And I think that not all of the energy went to Cole. That somehow, while she was doing this, because it was the bloodline, it was their family, Finn got some of the energy.
So, now,
Interesting.
all the Mikealsons are now alive. Rebecca is daggered.
It could be that, or it could
Not all of them.
It could be that, or it could be the fact that maybe Aya did the exact same spell, since it was a strict spell. Did that to Finn, having the amulet and all that.
She could have did it prior to all that stuff. Like, not
Possible.
prior, like prior to Reyna. Or she got one of her little witchies to do it.
Could be.
It's possible. But now we have all of the Mikealson brothers are
Oh.
alive.
No, you're forgetting one.
That's what I said. One's not alive.
Oh,
You're
God.
forgetting one. He
One.
matters,
Yes,
Michael.
Henrik, right. The one that's
Henrik.
only been mentioned in flashbacks and stuff like that. Fine.
He's still a Mikealson, and he's
All
still...
of the Mikealson brothers that have been turned into vampires are alive. Happy?
Okay. Yes.
How do you know Henrik's not a vampire?
Because he died before they got turned.
Yeah, but they said a lot of people
I
died.
thought there was one more.
Freya died too.
Henrik's death was the one that, Henrik's death was what spurned Esther to do the whole vampire spell in the first place.
Because he got killed by the werewolves.
I swore there was another one.
I don't think
No.
so.
Henrik, Cole, Finn, Elijah, Klaus. And then Rebecca and Freya.
Yeah, there were 7 of them. So, episode ends also with Vincent finding the last bullet.
Okay, so were his visions from his ancestors or just like residue from the spell he did?
I think the ancestors finally just, were like, for whatever reason, when he was done talking with Cammy, they're like, all right, here's the bullet. That's where it is.
Huh.
Well, they were talking about like every last splinter of the white oak, right? So, why not fragment it and put this tiny splinter, take a tiny splinter of it and put it in like an actual bullet?
I don't know.
Right? If they did that.
I mean, the bullet would have to have the wood on the outside, even if it's just a splinter. But
yeah,
I mean,
one splinter.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't do that.
I have no idea. But Vincent
They could
has...
effectively use that one bullet to kill everybody.
Yes, they could, but Vincent has 1 bullet now of white oak. Now, considering, if he doesn't make it into multiple shards or weapons and leaves it as one single bullet, who's the lucky Mikealson that gets shot by it?
I don't know if Vincent's gonna do it.
Finn.
Yeah, Finn's gonna get a hold of it.
No. I mean, Finn's going to be the one that gets shot.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to kill Finn off again?
Got it now.
The question is, which one's getting shot? And it's like, I think all of us can agree, Finn. Yeah.
That's going to be sad.
Still going to be butthurt that Finn, possessed him for so long.
Yeah, that's... Okay, I didn't get that right away.
I guess that would make,
I still forget that Finn is alive, even though I just saw him. So, when you said, who's gonna get the bullet, I was like, Vincent's not gonna kill anybody. Oh wait, you Finn.
He's been Finn's been gone for so long. Other than obviously in the amulet and stuff or whatever, but that's why you don't remember. You know, because right now, I just said that when I said I thought there was another one. It was Finn that I had going on in my head, and I went, oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Finn's died the most out of any of the Michaelsons. Like, actually died. Not daggered, but died.
So...
He's resurrected, what? This is the second time? Third time?
Yeah, and it'll be the perfect bit of family drama when they shoot Finn with it, because now Freya's going to be pissed off because Finn was her favorite brother.
Freya's stupid for that, honestly. She doesn't even know Finn. He was dead long time.
But Finn was the only one she remembers from her childhood, or one of the few, because she died before half of them were even born.
She's silly.
I know.
I had to remember.
I don't know. I think she's gonna her and Cole. They look like they're gonna get really close, which is great. I think that might push Finn out of first place.
Yeah, I mean, Cole has mastered his craft. If anybody, besides Esther, if anybody out there is gonna know some magical spell, it's gonna be Cole. And though he can't cast it, he can get Freya to do it, and he could abuse that, and I'm sure he's going to at some point down the line and have her cast something that she's not even realizing because she trusts him so much.
Yeah.
He's gonna practice magic vicariously through Freya and through Davina.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else for this episode?
I mean, we touched on Marcel. We saw a little bit of Josh this episode.
Yes.
Very little.
Very little. Enough to know that he is celebrating the heck out of not being sired to Klaus anymore. He had a raving party at Marcel.
They had a wonderfully hangover type O in vodka cocktail.
And then,
Yummy.
You mentioned Davina a little bit. She did say that, didn't she mention that she said that she thought Klaus was going to want her dead? And then Klaus just asked her to leave when it was family time. And that was it. He didn't try to kill her at that point.
Well, when he first showed up, he went after her, you're an idiot. And then he got sideswiped by his brother and then they're all like, what just happened? And it's like, oh, that's what happened.
It's I hate your guts and want to kill you, but we're just going to stick it at hate your guts because you brought my brother back.
We'll give you this loophole just once.
I don't know. I want to find out how Finn got back. That's really my big question. Now that's really all I care about, and I want to know if Klaus is hiding somewhere, or if he's going, because I feel like he's gonna go somewhere. Maybe he's got a retreat somewhere. He's gonna go with Haley and play daddy for a little bit, but he's gonna realize that this map that's got all these moving blood dots on it, he's gonna go and hunt them down one by one. Because he can't go to Mystic Falls. He can't return to New Orleans until they're all taken care of. Yeah. So what is he gonna do? He's just gonna leave and let his family take care of them all? He's gonna try to pick a few off himself.
He's gotta, because I don't think with Finn in the picture and Cole kind of be on a drinking binge, kind of, just because he's recovering from being in the underworld. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Limbo. I don't know, because he kind of wasn't.
He was in the witchy ancestor world. I don't know what you can call it.
He was in the in-between.
Sure. But I don't think that they're going to be able to handle the ones that come, because they're going to go to New Orleans because that's where they think he is. So they have all their own drama again. And to deal with the extra enemies coming at them, I don't think it's going to happen.
And Bex asks, what do you guys think Davina will do when she finds out Cole is feeding off of people?
That was one person. I don't know how far he's going to go.
She's already worried, though.
Yeah, well, I'd be worried, too.
She's worried before even knowing this, because he came back as a vampire, and she suspected him to be coming back as a witch.
And she had heard stories of how he was as a vampire.
Which he was, raging dick face.
He was.
He was
he admitted
horrible.
it.
The thing is, though, when Esther brought him back as the other Cole, the Irish Cole.
Coleb.
Huh?
Caleb, or as we affectionately called
Yes.
him, Coleb.
Coleb, yes. He was still a raging dickhole. And eventually, Davina softened him up and made him more of a person. So maybe he's true to his word. He's like, you changed me. You made me who I am right now. All that stuff in the past doesn't matter.
Still got the cravings, though.
Well, he's a vampire.
He's been dead too. I mean, I think it has to do with that.
I mean,
the fact that
I
he's
want to
been
go
dead.
back. I want to step over to Vampire Diaries when they're bringing souls out from the Phoenix Zone. I'm sorry to bring that up, but they came back and they were starving. They
True.
were complete rippers, and they're from a hell world. They're from another dimension, basically.
Well, they're coming straight out of hell.
Yeah.
The
But see,
equivalent.
the difference with that is their bodies remain intact in a physical form, where Cole's was ash.
Yeah, he was gone.
So this body wasn't craving anything because it didn't exist. So
Yeah, the Phoenix Stone bodies, they were just, the ones that weren't destroyed.
It's a transition thing. He's
Yeah.
still in a transition stage, and he has to cope and deal with it until he's stable.
You gotta think of it as kind of like a new vampire again. Cammy had trouble. She was very hungry, to say the least. So, I mean, it's kind of it's the same concept. I mean, remember when he came back, he was a witch, so he didn't have the cravings or anything. So the cravings are back. This is something he hasn't experienced for a while. So it's going to be under that same thought of being a new vampire.
Basically.
All right, then. So, the only thing I can tell you about the next episode is that it is on April 1st, and it is called Alone with Everybody.
Okay.
how can you be alone with everybody?
I don't know.
There's a concept of being in a room with a bunch of people and still feeling alone.
Yeah. So that's that. We have to wait 3 weeks, I think it is, before we find out any of that stuff. Actually, 4 weeks, technically, between episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's anything else to mention?
Not really. I think the main question here is how the hell Finn got back.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's going to be asking.
And that is, of course, why they left it in the last 30 seconds of the episode for a 4-week break.
Of course. Why not?
Big
It's a
ending.
mid-season finale. They do that shit all the damn time.
Fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So, that is that. Kim, where can they find you?
On the Twitters at HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
Nikki.
Also on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LADYVENOM24.
Dom.
You can find me up above at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM.
Where's your rainbow?
I want to screw with them and move it. You can find me on Twitter at Villagerin, right there. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us there for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Also movies and games. Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely evening. Lovely day.
Bex,
Bye-bye.
Bex, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Bex. We like active chat.